So, now, so I was up late last night. Late as fuck. Give you a backstory here. So, recently I've been delving into self-help shit, right? Just for my own personal growth. And it started off with attachment theory. I was looking up narcissism, and I stumbled upon, just because I still have issues understanding what the hell it even means, because it's such a word that's used so broadly nowadays. So I've always been fascinated in trying to understand it. Am I a narcissist? One of the main questions I always ask. So, who wants to be a narcissist? So anyway, that's what I was doing research on, and I stumbled upon attachment theory. And through studying attachment theory and understanding, okay, well, what kind of attachment style do I have? So on and so forth. What does it mean? All the ins and outs of my own personal growth, of who I am as a person. So I'm trying to figure myself out. I'm trying to get better, trying to move on in life. So through these rabbit holes that I keep stumbling down, just because it's fun. I like weird shit. I stumbled upon this dude named Julien himself. So you guys gotta check this. This is wild. This is wild as fuck what I found. So I stumbled upon this guy named Julien himself, right? And you see the little graph down here that he's got? This is his 8-step program that he's got. And it starts with empathy, grief. There's a bunch of them. He's got 8 that he works with. Let's see if I can read it here. Empathy, grief, fear, anger, and then that's the cutoff. And then that's all he really goes into, because his product, how he sells his product, is he'll only talk about the bottom tier, but the top 4 tiers are courage, desire, purpose, and love. Okay? And he doesn't really teach on that, because obviously he wants you to buy his product. He teases you with the first 4, and then the second 4, while you sign up to my website and pay me money, because it's a product. You pay me money, and I personally coach you. At the end of every one of his videos, he does this spiel of, you want, wherever you are in the world, I'll work with you on a personal level, blah, 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 blah. So on and so forth, right? Whatever. And I dig it. Like, I'm right into it, right? I think he's very charismatic. He's knowledgeable. His shit seems to work. I believe that his work is based off of grief studies, or in change management. The five stages of grief. There's a change, something happens, there's a change, and you go through these five stages of grief. Denial, anger, bereavement. Denial, anger, depression, bargaining, acceptance. Every time there's a change, you get stuck in traffic, you stub your toe, you lose a partner, whatever. Doesn't matter. Anytime there's a change, so you're a normal being, and then there's a change, and then whoop, you go into these five stages of grief, and I believe that's what this system is based off of. My own personal opinion. I'm pretty sure that's what it's based off. He's basically holding your hand and walking you through the changes of grief, because people get stuck in different parts of it. But anyway, it doesn't matter. So last night, I'm sitting there watching one of his videos, as I normally do, just, do my own research and sort of, thinking inside my head of what he's talking, blah, blah, blah. And so I happened to click over a couple of YouTube videos over, and I stumbled upon this fucking guy. Here. And I'm like, well, who the fuck is this guy? Because he's talking, you see the little graph down here? He's got a little graph. Yeah, it's the same fucking graph. It's the same graph. I'm like, well, wait a minute. What the fuck? It's the same graph. Clark, you'll notice no Wikipedia, by the way, which I find fascinating. There's no Wikipedia on this guy. I'm like, what the fuck? And he's talking about the exact same thing that Julien talks about. But Julien talks about it as if this is his theory. This is his, my 8-step program, blah, blah, blah. And this guy's talking about the same thing. I'm like, well, well, wait a minute, is this guy stealing his material? Like, what the fuck is going on? So I started doing some digging. So this guy here, Kegley, started back in 2011. Okay, Julien started back in 2014. Okay, well, hang on a second here. Well, who stole who? Who stole whose material? I'm like, well, wait a minute. Now, what the fuck is going on here? Right? And I tried to get through one of this guy's videos, and he just doesn't have the same persona. It's not to say he's boring, he talks slow, it's just not the same. I'm like, this guy sucks. Even if he started first, he still sucks. Do a bit more. I'm like, well, this doesn't make sense. And in the video that I watched, he mentioned the Hawkins scale. I'm like, well, what the fuck is the Hawkins scale? The Hawkins scale is what these fuckers are talking about. The Hawkins scale. Yeah, it was developed by a doctor. Yeah, it's not their program. It's not their scale. It's nothing to do with them. It's the same fucking thing. There's actually more to the Hawkins scale. The Hawkins scale, if I can bring it up here, it's actually a little bit more in depth. You've got, all right, shame, grief, guilt, hate, rage. Well, it's on the down scale. But anyway, there's more to it. You know, there's a negative and a positive and so forth. And as you go through the change management, you go through change, you know, there's all these denial, anger, depression. It's broken up into 5. Whereas Hawkins, from what I can see, is actually broken them up into to a bit more. It's more fine-tuned from what I'm seeing, from what I understand. I'm not a psychologist, not a sociologist. I don't know. This is what I'm sort of gleaming from it. So this guy here is Emotional Guidance Scale, The Path to Awareness and Joy. The map of consciousness was developed by Dr. David Hawkins, 1927 to 2012, who was an internationally renowned, so 2012, so that's when he died, was in 2012. Okay, so then the other guy started in 2011 and Julien started in 2014. So obviously it is based off of his, not where he stole this is the guy who actually developed the system. Who was an internationally renowned spiritual teacher and author. Dr. Hawkins' theory and scientific findings drove him to author several books on how to address life's changes and the importance of including spiritual practices in one's healing and recovery. But these, which is fine. I mean, that's all fine and great. But don't fucking come to me as if this is my 8-step system or this is my 12 steps, when it's you're basing your work off of, like, give the guy fucking credit. Give the guy credit. Now I've got to do a bit more digging into who the fuck he is now. I looked into who Julien was. Massive Wikipedia page, negative. Lots of negative posts when you pull up Julien's name. Interesting. We all know what happens when people smear you. That's, you know, those little red flags go off going, oh, why are they smearing? Maybe you're saying things that you shouldn't say. Maybe you're saying things the media doesn't like you saying. And I also looked at the Kegley guy. There's fuck all. Facebook, Instagram, this post, that post, how it worked, and testimonies and blah, blah, blah. Where's the Wikipedia? No Wikipedia write-up. Nothing. I can't find a fucking thing on him. Nothing. It's like he doesn't exist. 900,000 subscribers. Big fucking deal. Who the fuck are you? His birth, they don't even know when his fucking birth, like, what day he was born. Nobody has a fucking clue, apparently. They'll tell you everything they can about Julien. They won't tell you a damn thing about this Kegley dude. Fascinating. I'm like, oh yeah, interesting. I find that fascinating. Why not? What are you hiding there, Clark? How much did you have to pay for your? How much did you pay Google to fucking hide your shit? I don't know. I know he's boring. He's boring to watch. I would actually, even though, and I mean, to be honest, even though Julien, it's a bit of a grift. It is a product that he's trying to sell. I get it. I would pay this motherfucker. I would pay him. I would. He's that good. But I mean, even his one-on-one sessions, it's not one-on-one. It's a fucking Zoom call with how many fucking people? You watch enough videos, you sort of pick up on the little thing. You can't play it perfect all the time. You can't. You'll always drop shit. If you're hiding stuff, you'll always drop it. It's a Zoom call with like probably 30 other fucking people. It's not one-on-one my ass. One-on-one. Sure, buddy. Okay. But even that being said, he's so good at doing this, I would pay him. I would. Because it's, you see, when you watch his videos online, you literally can see the results. You see what he's talking about. The way he's able to bring people's confidence out is astonishing. It is, you see it. Like, holy fuck, like that is wild. And he swears and he dresses all weird and he just doesn't give a fuck. Even though he's kind of got a bit of a grift going, still, I'd pay him. Yeah, I'd probably sign up for his shit if I could afford it, which I probably couldn't. I might actually look into it, to be honest. I wouldn't mind. I want to know more. I do want to know more about this. And I do have to do more research on Dr. Hawkins and figure that, like what the fuck is good? Like, huh? Like it. I love trippy shit. Last night, so they talk about meditation and shit like this. So last night, I'm sitting in my room. No music, no TV, not even the fan going. Just sitting there, breathing. This is something that is suggested that you do. So that way you can get in touch with your subconscious to learn about yourself. I felt like a fucking serial killer. like, isn't this what fucking serial... Like, this is meditating, but this is weird. Imagine someone walks in on you, you're just sitting there quietly in your room, not saying a word. Just sitting there. And I've tried to find every excuse not to do it, which was really wild. That's what I found fascinating of why I should do it, is because I was trying to find excuses not to do it. To not be alone with myself. One of the things they talk about is like, well, what if the universe came to you and said that you were going to be alone for the rest of your life? Can you stand yourself? You know, can you stand being by yourself? And like that's the whole point of the exercise, of to turn off, get rid of all distractions and just sit there quietly with yourself. No music, no music, no phone, no distractions. That's one of the reasons why I got rid of Facebook and Instagram. They were distractions. You know, can you spend time with yourself? Alone. Quietly. Fucking there's people fucking walking and shit. I'm still distracted. I'm like, fuck. Can't concentrate, damn it. I want to look into my mind. You know, it's a fucking trip. It's fun. I love learning about myself. I love learning about this. I love learning about everything to do with this shit. And then, I mean, there's still lots of more work that I have to do personally, because then I have to take everything that I learned and then I have to apply it, you know, I throw it against my backing board, which is the Word of God. Which, I mean, from the little bit I have learned, it looks legit, kinda. Like, there's some things, especially with a bunch of the psychologists and shit that I watch, it's something about like being in the moment or one with the moment or something. I forget now, and I'm like, the principles are good. I think the starting principles are good, but then they kind of trail off somewhere to I'm like, no, that sounds like new age woohoo stuff. There's some new age woohoo. But it's the afterwards. It's the afterward when you're dealing with shit. I don't know. I got to look into it more. Again, this is a new thing I'm into right now. Funny, interesting, bit of some grifts. There's some grifts happening, and you know, people like, okay, buddy, enough. All right. Anyway, it's cool. I just wanted to share. That's it's a new avenue I'm going down, and as I learn, I'll share. But this is where this shit's coming from. This Dr. Hawkins and the Hawkins scale. If you're interested, and I always say, look at, do your own research. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I just thought I'd share. Anyway, peace out. Oh fuck, now I have to get rid of 1,000